What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to Call on Tyrone. I got my guys here, C Dog, Georgia Tech, of course. Let me introduce the show though. The little brothers. I'm gonna call them the little brothers. The little brothers in the state. Um, they're here today to represent their school. Georgia Tech. You got C Dog, who is 8. Please go subscribe to his channel. He's actually really good. He does a lot of content. And K Styles, if you're an AFM fan, if you're a FILA fan, if you watch Mad Mike, you know K Styles. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, man. I'm glad to be on here for my first appearance, and I'm excited to talk some jacket football.
Oh, definitely. I appreciate you letting me get on with you. This is my second time here. The last time I was in here, we was talking Jackets football, so I already know what the deal is.
Like I said, got the little brothers here today, but I had to, I got some. You got on all these Georgia Tech hats and hoodies, and I had to wear my red and black. But Georgia Tech, interesting kind of couple years, like you said, we were talking earlier. See, dog, 2-3 win seasons, back to back, and I made the point of you guys have come out of an option team for 11 years and basically playing like the Army, and trying to get out of that with this new coach, and O-line is getting better, and even though O-line you can transition a lot, but you got bigger guys, you guys like the pass now, looks like you got a lot more open offense. So for you guys both, we're gonna start with just all around, how has it been these last couple of years, and then going into this year, what are your expectations going into this year?
You want me to start?
You can start. Yeah, you can start.
Well, I think a lot of everybody kind of knew that it was going to be a rough transition. I mean, going from the triple option to pro style is about the biggest change you can get, and not only just that, but also a culture change, because Paul Johnson era was a lot of old fashioned. He didn't like to recruit. He said he could make an athlete out of any student, and that was kind of his philosophy. Well, that sort of philosophy doesn't really work unless
unless you're really that good.
It's a tough job. Dave Clawson at Wake Forest comes to mind, but unless you're a special coach like that, you're going to need to get some recruiting in, change the culture, change the way people look at the program, because we've always been kind of in Atlanta, but nobody in Atlanta really cared about the team. I think Collins is wanting to get back onto the he used to have, back in the day, we would have Atlanta rappers on the sidelines, and it was just a cool, fun experience, and I think that's what Collins is getting back to. Not knocking Paul Johnson in any way. There's something to be said for that.
Y'all have, like I said earlier, the culture change is crazy.
Yeah.
For the 404 and all of that, I was like, oh, okay, now we're getting back to being in Atlanta.
Right. And that's
like, so I'm happy with it. But you continue.
That's what Coach Collins is doing so well, is what I feel like now. His on-field coaching ability may be brought into question, but I think I've seen enough from year 1 to 2. Yes, they were both 3-win seasons, but you got to think, year 1, it's an entirely triple option offense, although he did pull in the best recruiting class in Tech history. But year 2, you had COVID, and then you had a team full of true freshmen starting. We had a true freshman, obviously starting at quarterback, and he made a lot of mistakes. But the improvement from season 1 and 2, while the box score might tell you there was no improvement, it was an all ACC schedule, and we missed a month of football because of this team or that team or us having COVID, and it was a wild year. But I think that the groundwork is there. I think he's getting those guys shaped up to be a much improved this year. I think this year we start seeing it in the win column.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to it, K Styles?
Let me say it like this. In the last couple years, when your best recruit is Presley Harvin III, it says a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, he's no slouch, so y'all see
He
that
ain't a
punt?
slouch.
Y'all see that punt the other day? I was so proud.
I mean, that was that was cool. It was cool to see. You know, having a Georgia guy. You know, I put it like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But like he said, with the culture change, like he said, the triple option to a regular offense is not an easy thing, especially when you have to deal with still having them Paul Johnson guys that got that same Paul Johnson mentality. Now, when the culture change first happened and that first spring practice happened, when they went in that triple option formation and then switched out into a normal formation, that was the loudest pop they done had in like 8 years. So everybody at Georgia Tech was happy to see that now we can have some variety on offense. Now, we already know that this is not a 1-2 year project. It's going to take 3 to 4 years to really Jeff Collins to put his stamp on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think.
Damn right, go Jackets.
I think for me, like, so let's be honest. Georgia, like I said, Georgia's the big brother. Like I've been saying that. But let's go to Kirby Smart into Mark Richt. Mark Richt could not win. Let's be honest. Mark Richt won 1 or 2 SEC championships, and then the rest of those seasons we were like, what? We win like 8 games, go 8-4 like multiple times. It's just be like, okay, here we go again with Mark Richt, and he got complacent. And Georgia fans, you know, we beat Florida one year, we'll beat Georgia Tech, and then like all the other games we lose will be like, you know, like powerhouse schools. Everyone's like, well, we're not supposed to win those games. But then we start getting better. Then you get Kirby Smart in here, and then you win SEC championship. Go back to been going to at least. I mean, I think we've been to 4 since he's been here. Or 5. 3 is a 3 or 4. Something like, because I know
3.
Let me see.
17, 18, 19.
Yeah, 17. Yeah, because y'all went like Florida. Well, by the way, Blake is here. He's a Georgia Tech / Florida fan. So
What's up,
of course he's gonna give me all my Georgia.
What's going on, man?
Oh yeah.
How you doing?
You must be you must really not be a fan of the Bulldogs then if you're a Georgia Tech and Florida fan.
Nope, my mom went to
Yeah.
I feel you, man.
That's just both ways. But yeah, I think for us, I mean, we started winning more. I think like it just felt good to have Kirby.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
tell me what Kirby has won. That Mark Richt.
Rose Bowl. Have y'all won a Rose Bowl? We got a Rose Bowl win. I'll take that over a lot of champions. And the Peach Bowl. What else did we win? The Sugar Bowl. You know, major New Year's 6 games. Things Florida hasn't done in a while. But you
tell me what Mark Richt hasn't done that Kirby has in the first 5
seasons. He did a lot of work. If you look at Georgia, he didn't do a lot. Like, if you go back, I want you to go back and look at Mark Richt's resume, and then look at his first 4 years, and then look at recruiting classes. Because Cam Newton, I'm not even gonna bring. That hurts my feelings every time I think about Cam Newton supposed to be in Georgia. That just and he going to Florida. That just hurts my feelings. This is disgusting that he didn't even try to recruit him. Yeah, no more. So going into the leaving triple option, which was a blessing and a curse. It was for Georgia, we had learned the triple option pretty much on the back of our head. So the only time you like it just felt like we knew y'all was gonna run the toss play, you were gonna run the option, you was gonna run up the middle, and we just started recruiting every week. I don't know if everybody noticed. Sometimes we would change that D tackle. It would be a bigger boy at that D tackle spot when we played Georgia Tech because we knew either the fullback dive was gonna come, or he was gonna throw that toss, he was gonna do that pitch, and then you had the strongest linebacker. It was weird watching y'all because I was like, when I first watched Georgia Tech, I was like, what is this? Like, because you never see, like, you don't see offenses ran like that no more. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, it was weird.
Yeah, I heard something like Mark Richt had dedicated like 1 day a week solely on the triple option.
Yep.
And that's why he was so successful against it, because a lot of the times the triple option trips up teams that don't play it every year. But the teams that, you play every year, they kind of start to figure it out. So
Yeah, I
unfortunately,
think slowly.
that's
And so I'll go into your schedule last year. So you beat Florida State, which wasn't a good of a team.
right.
Yeah, we wasn't a good of a team neither. So
Yeah.
what more can you say?
That was a big
That was
victory,
that
really
was a
and
big
truly.
win at the time. Like at the
Exactly.
time, people were like, "Oh my god, what is going on here?" And it is kind of a cool storyline because at one point, Jeff Sims, our new quarterback, was committed to Florida State. They revoked his scholarship, so he come to Tech and then beat him first game, and that was kind of a funny storyline.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Florida. Yeah, Florida fans like to be Florida fans.
No,
But
Mike, I've been watching you for a while, man. Come on.
You know,
UC
Mike gonna
so-
come in here and talk his stuff.
so UCF but it's funny because like we've ran the East for how many years, and then UCF.
You guys have never run the East.
Whoa. 3 years
Oh,
stretch
man.
and running the East is running the East. Let's be honest. Y'all went 3 years with Tebow. Let's be honest, and then y'all lost to Alabama that last year. I was
Tell me why
downtown
we
when
have
it
the
happened.
second most titles behind Bama. It's not Georgia.
Y'all have to say
Not
yes
Georgia.
because Tebow and Percy Harvin. Oh, that's Mark Richt. That's what I'm telling you. Look at Mark Richt.
What about
If that's
Steve
the case-
Spurrier and his 11-1 record versus Georgia at the University of Florida?
And
And why y'all hate him?
Oh wait, you talking about it in South Carolina or in Florida? Because I was gonna say South Carolina. No, let's not bring that up.
With Steve Spurrier at South Carolina for 12 years.
No, how long was he there?
Not 12 years. So clearly I'm talking about
like
Florida.
4 or 5, something like
Yeah,
that.
like
But
6.
getting back to Georgia Tech, we're gonna go back to Georgia Tech. You lose to UCF, who was supposedly the 2019 national champion. Syracuse, 37. You lose, and you beat Louisville. So I mean, you're 2-2 at that point.
Yep.
Then you play the almighty Clemson, and we're not going to talk about that score.
Mm.
You play BC.
Yeah.
Not going. Well, that was a kosher game. It just feel like y'all probably gave out a.
The games towards the end of the year were a bit closer. I liked. We were kind of in the game in the NC State and the Pitt game. We were kind of in those the entire time.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a late score or something at the end, like Pitt did, to pull away. But it was losing close games is what I like. I don't like getting blown out. If we gotta lose,
that Clemson game was just oof.
it's a different type of disappointment when you get blown out versus when you lose a close one.
Was that the game when that dude had the paper bag over his head? Was that Clemson? When he was laying in the stands with the paper bag over his head?
Had to.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was the
think so.
Clemson. I remember they had the clip of some dude laying in the stands with a paper bag over his head. And I was like,
That's
it has to be Clemson. So you were in the BC game. I guess they pulled away late, probably, and you were close with Notre Dame. You beat Duke, which is I mean those are moral victories at those points this late in the season.
Blew them out,
Yeah, you blew them out. You play NC State, which you're only you only lose by a touchdown and a field goal, which is not that bad. And then Pitt, you lose by what? 14. So 2 touchdowns.
Right.
So,
I want to point out too. I'm not making excuses or anything, but we did have a lot of players missing. Jahmyr Gibbs, our amazing new star running back, which I think is going to get national recognition this year. He went down in the Duke game, so he was not in those last 2 games. Plus, we had tons of injuries and COVID cases on defense. So the fact that we were still able to stay in those games, it was nice.
Yeah, I mean those are, like I said, those are like moral victories. That's why the 2014 did so well. If you can rule the TO with a half decent team, all you need is defense to have major success. Yeah, I mean
They were.
2014. What year? What team was that?
Yeah, that
That's
was.
11-3. I want to say 10-3, 11-3.
Yeah.
We had beat Dak Prescott in the bowl game.
Oh, okay,
Mississippi
yeah, okay.
State. Yeah.
And they beat Georgia when Georgia was still ranked top 10.
I think
last
that
week.
was
Right.
Yeah.
They now beat Florida
That was-
State in the ACC
Was that
championship.
Kirby's first year.
Jameis Winston's
2014?
No, that was 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah,
14.
2016.
Y'all still have Mark Richt 14.
Oh,
so.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Right.
God,
2014, they played Florida
Yeah,
State in the
yeah,
ACC
I remember.
championship.
I remember this. Yeah, I remember we fired him. That was
Yeah.
weird,
And then followed it up with an awful season in 2015.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know why I
Yeah.
brought that up. That's rough. But
I
Yeah.
feel like but like you said, like we said about Paul Johnson, is that I'm gonna find players on campus and make them play. Like
Yeah.
that's not a good start. That's not a good way to have a coach. Like
Right.
you can't find players. Like it's not high school. It's not like you can see a big dude in the hallway and be like, "Hey, come play football with me." Like it's not like you walking down the street. Let's come play some football. Like it's not like that. And you're in college. These kids, you got to get kids that have been playing for a certain amount of time. So that it just didn't feel right. Through that whole situation, that just doesn't feel. It didn't. And I didn't follow Drew Tech, but to hear like somebody say that as a coach is really like crazy because why?
Yeah.
Like what was the reasoning in that? But so we're going to this year. We're going into this year. I want to talk about a certain guy that I really enjoy and I really think is going to have a big year. I still don't think you guys beat Georgia, but he'll have a great game versus Georgia. And Jeff Sims.
Oh, yeah.
You're high on Jeff Sims. Yeah.
I'm very high on Jeff Sims.
Hopefully he can get the turnover problem fixed, and he knows it. He recognizes it, and it was just a lot of freshman mistakes he was making last year. But Collins says he's been in interviews, says he's been in the film room, been working on discipline.
Young guy. That's why I say he's young.
Right, just those getting rid of those mistakes and the flashes of opportunity he showed last year. I'm high on him too.
Yeah, I think going in like watching and I some people want to compare him to Lamar because of the speed and the arm. I don't think he's more. I think he has more talent. I think not. I'm not saying more. He has more arm talent. I'll put it like that. I think he has a better arm than Lamar does. Kinda. I think he has. I just love him overall. I like his attitude. He's like he's a good kid. Like he's a kid where he's gonna come in and the way Colin, like you said, he described. He's one of the greater guys on the team. He's gonna be a captain. I mean, he's gonna be a leader on this team. And even for him to be sophomore year, for you to come in, you're gonna have to be you're a quarterback. So you automatically kind of sort of get thrown into that leadership role, and you have to see it. And for him to say, he's been working for him, working on himself and working on the stuff that he needs to do. Like, I mean, that's what else do you want from your quarterback? Like, I want him to, like you said, cut down turnovers, cut down the stuff, the bad stuff, and just show you the talent that he has.
Yeah.
K Styles. Oh, I will get back to you.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love Jeff Sims. Like you said, the main issue that he had last year, like you said, like C-Dog just said, turnovers. And then also, we ain't even gonna just put just on him as far it's the red. It was the red zone offense. It was the missed kicks. That was really the main
penalties.
Issue. Penalties. Yes.
One of the worst penalized teams in the country last year, and all those mistakes. I was gonna say, in interviews they've recognized them, talked about them, and been hammering them in every single time with the spring ball interviews, the ACC interviews, the fall camp interviews. They know what's wrong, what needs to be fixed, and they've been hammering it home. And that's what I like to hear. Now it's time to execute.
Right.
I think that's my thing for y'all.
Yeah. I was about to say too, and there's also you got to have actual receivers that he can trust. That's another aspect that's got to be part of the game.
Yeah, and I like the transfers we got coming in. Kyrick McGowan from Northwestern. Northwestern team has been really good. He's played in 2 Big Ten championships. A few of the freshmen we got coming in. I'm excited on them. We do lose Jalen Camp. That was a pretty big loss, but I think we'll have some guys step up and fill those roles. And O-line too, because
that's the thing I want to add. So having that whole option, like I was saying, you have to have guys that can pass block because when you play option, there's not a lot of pass block. And if it is a pass on an option, it's going to be a quick pass. It's never going to be a long developing play. Now, with this whole offense you have now, it's going to be developing. You got to let guys get downfield. So, are these guys? You think these guys are going to be more disciplined this year, learning how to hold and how to be able to move their feet and less sacks and stuff like that?
I like. We have 3 transfers coming in, and then a couple freshmen coming in, and I like what the two of the transfers are from the SEC. So, and there's experienced guys. It'll be an immediate help to the O-line. And we have one of the best position coaches at that, Brent Key. He's one of the best offensive lines in the country. He coached the Alabama team in 2017 when they won the national championship. But, of course, he come home because he knew that it was time for the Yellow Jackets to return to their former glory.
Okay. I think for y'all, K-Styles, you can go ahead after I think, like you said, like you're like I said, I always say this, y'all are gonna get back to being good. I don't think there's not a time. I think everything going on, the way he's bringing in this whole culture with the whole Waffle House and bringing in stuff like he's such a cool coach. Like he gives you that young. I think he's not older. He's a younger guy. I think not that younger, but he's a younger coach. So he brings that young energy, and he's bringing in those. He's not gonna get Quavo, of course, but he's gonna get these other rappers down here in Atlanta to come out and be a part of you guys' organization, which is in a few years that's gonna be something. That's gonna be big. Yeah. Let's be honest. That's gonna be a very big thing for y'all.
I've seen a couple already.
To think about I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Jeff Collins' days at Georgia Tech go back to the days of George O'Leary when he walked the campuses down by Bobby Dodd. And, of course, he'd been through the ringer with many different top programs and bi-level Power 5 programs over the years. And a lot of the things that he learned on how to spark a program back to what they can be was what he did in the Jim McElwain years at Florida. Were those years great compared to what we have now? Not at all. But the little things that he's done, as in, Money Down, bringing in Atlanta icons, symbolizing things around the city of Atlanta, he got from other programs that he's been to that have been through rough patches and how to get the fans interested again. And he's brought it back here to Georgia Tech. And as we've already spoke about, the recruits are starting to fly in and, hopefully things turn around.
That's what I hope. I hope for y'all. Because you like I said, you guys need you need something that's going to bring you help. So we still gonna talk. We're keeping the expectations. What Matt and Mike basically just transitioned us into my next question. Going into the schedule, I'm gonna read off the teams for people that most of you guys know, but I'm gonna read it off for people that don't know. So you start off with Northern Illinois, which I see that as a win. Kennesaw State, which should be a blowout. You have the beloved Clemson team, week 3. UNC at home. Pitt at home. You play Duke, Virginia Tech back-to-back, Miami, Boston College, Notre Dame again. So is Notre Dame in the ACC? I guess they are. And then
no, they're not. No, they were just last year for COVID, and then they let them out, and then they let them back out. So they let them come in for 1 year.
They brought in somebody to try to beat Clemson. It didn't work.
Yeah. They should have.
Well, they beat them regular season, then they got killed. So,
yeah.
But he says, I see Tech going 6-6, but praying for 7-5. Off of what I've just read, and I'll just give it. You guys, I can see 1, 2. I see you beating Duke 3, 4. I'll say 6-6. 7 and I say 7-5 because I think you might upset Notre Dame. I'll say 7.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I feel like
I would love that.
This is the type of year Georgia Tech's in. They're a couple of years into the rebuild now. They're at the point where Don said it before on the podcast where he says Georgia Tech's in that period where they're going to go out and get that win nobody expects.
Yeah,
that's going to be a huge factor.
I think the upset. I think you beat, and I really think you beat Miami. I think the upset is Notre Dame, though.
That'd be great.
I think Notre Dame losing Ian Book and losing Ogundeji and a lot of their pieces to the NFL, they're gonna come out next year. We know Notre Dame, and we know they can be up there. But seniors has always been an older class. But when they have these young guys, kind of fall off, and you don't see them no more for a couple of years. So those seniors develop. So
then they just get their butt whooped anyway. So.
Yeah, so that's what I say. I think that's the upset for me.
It's gonna be tough. It is kind of towards the end of the season, so they might have a few things figured out. But it sure would be sweet. But man, we go through kind of a gauntlet at the end of the year. Miami, Boston College, Notre Dame, and Georgia all in a row. I mean, we have one of the hardest schedules in the country. So a bowl game, our goal should be probably a bowl game, and I think we win somewhere between 5 and 7 games. I hate to say 5, but you know,
it's
not
6
still
improvement. Bowl game eligibility, right? It's right at 6.
Yeah.
So I think you get a bowl game this year.
I hope so.
What do you think, Styles?
I'll say 6 or 6. I mean, like I said, because I look at Clemson, we already know how that is. But only thing about that game is going to be so much expected of a blowout. If they have the right mindset, they can make it a lot closer than what they did. Because Trevor Lawrence and ETN is not there no more. So we don't know.
Hopefully this team right here shoots their confidence down in week 1. So I
don't think your team's gonna be healthy enough for that, man.
I don't. What we're hearing is that they're hurt, but I don't know. We'll see. We got 4 weeks. How many weeks left? We got 2 or 3. We got 3 weeks left. Yeah,
about 3 weeks.
We're panicking on the inside. I already know.
Yeah. I wanted to say that Pitt game. That's I think we have that game circled. I noticed this comment here doesn't mention beating Pitt, and then I think we got to have that game circled because of how it went last year. I was actually at that game in person, and it was bad. Like it was a very and the ending made us look bad. We got to have that game circled. We get them at home again, and also that game. And also, I wanted to mention as far as strength of schedule goes, North Carolina, which we play right after Clemson, is a top 10 team. So our schedule is it's tough. And Miami's right outside the top 10.
Yeah. I think Miami's is horrible. I seen Miami's schedule. That's gonna Jesus.
Yeah. I hope we take them down. Extend that winning streak to 3. We're on a 2-game winning streak against them. Let's make it 3.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. Florida's on a 1. So
nice.
see, here's my thing about North Carolina is that Sam Howell, everybody got him rated like this highly touted quarterback coming out for next year.
Who's he throwing
I don't see it. I didn't see it last year. I didn't see it the last 2 years. They 2 workhorses is not back there no more.
I was going to say, I think my thing on Sam Howell is so weird because, mind you, so the top 3 in Heisman votes, supposedly preseason Heisman, Sam Howell, Spencer Rattler, and it's another. I can't think of the other dude. It's
DJ Uyunglele.
Yeah, it's DJ. It's the dude from Clemson, and it's so funny because if he loses week 1, let's say he loses week 1, and then he loses JT Daniels, and mind you, JT Daniels should be up there. But, we're not going to talk about it because he got the whole knee and this really isn't his class because, he missed his first. All that. We can leave all of that there. If he loses, I feel like JT jumps up to 3. And I don't think Sam Howell and Spencer Rattler might be the only one that might keep up with JT Daniels this year in a 1-for-1 race. I don't think Sam Howell keeps up with JT in that offense because Todd Monken is he came out and said JT literally knows the offense like word for word. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's going to be a scary sight. And he's so talented. I just think you give us the number 1 O-line according to, I think, or we're like top 5 O-lines in power ranks. And then you give us that he was like the number 1 or number 2 quarterback in his class. And then supposedly our receiver, I don't really care about receivers. If he can throw, he could. We watched Aaron Rodgers play with mediocre receivers and be great. So I don't think, and that's who he models his game after. So I think he puts up. I think Spencer Rattler is going to have great yards on the ground because he's mobile. He'll get out the pocket more. I think that's the one thing that gets Spencer Rattler a little bit more than JT Daniels, but we don't know. JT Daniels might just decide to break out and start running because he did it last year one game and everybody was like, "Oh, he can run." And so I just think he's more. I feel like he's more scared of the knee thing at this point. But yeah, I think. Let me see. Jamari Gibbs is what is going to be what Alvin Kamara wanted to be at Tennessee.
Oh, we ain't even got to that yet.
Yeah,
we ain't got to that yet.
I forgot about
we ain't got to that yet.
Yeah, Jameer Gibbs.
Let me go. I'll go by the Pro Football Focus. He was. I think both of your running backs were first team and second team or something like that. Something crazy.
Right.
Where y'all should have the best running game. And
we are
ACC. So
if there's one thing we got left over from the Johnson that's helping us out, it's we're deep
Jordan Mason
and talented at running back. And yeah, Jordan Mason and Jameer Gibbs, probably one of the top running back duos in the country. And Jameer Gibbs, I think he gets national recognition this year, especially if the O-line is what I'm thinking. It's going to be improved. He already, I watched film breakdowns of him, and what he's able to do when the O-line gets absolutely blasted off the line of scrimmage is insane. He is so talented, and he was a true freshman. We got Tashard Choice at running back coach. I mean, you got a hell of a running back coach, tech guy, and he's one of our better running backs in our history. Jameer Gibbs, potential to put up 1,000 yards this season, and he's gonna get some eyes on him this season. Even more talented than Jeff Sims, in my opinion.
Reading that that thing, I was like, bro, that's crazy. I was like, yo, I was like, it gotta be good. Like to see it, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Go ahead, Blake.
Hey, so while we're on it, 2 points I want to backtrack to before I get too far removed from it. One, going back to what we were talking about earlier about, the transition between the triple option and now the spread. I think we already covered how hard it is. Just point blank on how hard it is to switch from one to another. But one thing I need people to realize is when Georgia Tech ran the triple option, if a team prepared for it correctly, they had nothing. Those are the games Georgia Tech lost 27-7, 34-10. You'd see that a couple times a year. But then there'd be the teams that didn't know what the hell they were doing when they were planning for it, and you see Tech go out and beat them 66-17.
Yeah.
So not only was the pace kind of at a standstill with the Paul Johnson era, but same with his triple option, because teams were planning for it more than not. And T, I know you wanted to get to this earlier, but I got to make this point. Getting back to your buddy Kirby Smart, I want to say in his 5 years at Georgia, he is 52-13. Mark Richt, 50-13 in his first 5 years at Georgia. Also won SEC championship
with DJ Shockley, one of the best quarterbacks in Georgia history.
Tell me how that's an improvement.
You have this. You got to be a Georgia fan to understand how that's an improvement.
The recruiting's improved. The recruiting's for sure.
Recruiting.
The recruiting is the best recruiting school. Might as well be. If Kirby Smart, I think if Kirby Smart built the right system, like I think Todd Monken's gonna be the right guy. Because mind you, we've gone through how many OCs now? 3 or 4. So give him the right system and the right. I think because mind you, Jake Fromm was not Jake Fromm. I mean, he was Jake Fromm. He did what he did. He did what he did. Let's put it like that. He kept you afloat, and he got you to a national championship. But that wasn't the quarterback you needed in a national championship.
TJ, we can play a what if game all day.
You call a horrible penalty. I mean, you can go back and watch the game. I'm gonna go back and watch the game because I want to watch that fourth quarterback to see how many calls were missed. We're gonna talk about that. Jeff Sims for Heisman. I don't know. I don't think this year. Maybe.
Not
maybe
this
one day. I mean,
if he comes out, I say he comes out, and if he comes out next year, I feel like next year he might have a run at it. I think that might be it. I don't know. I think maybe next year or his senior year he can, if he stays his senior.
If he
year.
comes
You never
back
know.
his senior year, yeah, I hope so. Gibbs will be gone, dude. He's so good.
Yeah.
He'll be gone.
Yeah.
So we need to make the most out of him these next 2 years because he is special.
Right.
Question for C Dog: how many interceptions do we need to limit Sims to for him to show improvement?
Less than 2 a game.
Yeah, I mean, we just can't. If you look at Nick Saban, I mean, obviously the number would be 0. I mean, whatever, the average is per game, but Nick Saban, one of the greatest coaches of all time, he says one of his cardinal sins, probably the biggest thing, is no turnovers. He stressed it, like the turnovers kill you. Like it's awful. Ball security is so important. That will be the determining factor, I think, because the talent's there. That'll be the determining factor in whether he has a breakout year or not, whether we win 5 games or 7, And as far as a number, I mean,
So his number last year was 13.
Yeah, bad. That's bad.
Yeah. He kind of sort of pulled a Jameis and went 13-13, like Jameis did 30 for 30. So
Yeah.
He did.
So
He
if
was
you
just trying to make
you,
ESPN somehow.
if you go for this is because I know we did like dealing with who was our worst quarterback at Georgia. Really, dealing with Eason for a while when Eason first got at Georgia was
Stetson Bennett.
Oh, but
Bennett.
Bennett's
That's a turnover machine right there.
Yeah, Bennett's cap was when he got to Florida, and that's when we was like, yeah, you gotta go. That was automatic, like it was like you gotta go because
he's got 2 more years of eligibility. I'm looking for a return of the mailman. I hope that Stetson Bennett comes back.
Georgia fans say that he needed to go, but they also say that Florida won because he left the game. Like, pick a side.
No, you won because we didn't have a quarterback. That's why you won. Let's be honest. Georgia did. We went 5-0 with JT Daniels and lost. We lost to Florida. We still really didn't.
Alabama.
We went on a good run. We lost.
Tell me who those wins came by.
By Stetson Bennett and
Dwayne Mathis. In those 5 games by JT Daniels. Tell me one compatible team he played.
Here comes
we had Kentucky, Missouri, South Carolina, and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati
was undefeated.
Cincinnati,
and I'm gonna be honest, our defense saved him that game.
Yeah. Well, also their clock management.
Oh my God, they pulled a Georgia,
and it's so funny because
I was at that game. I was so mad. I went to that game to pull against Georgia. I've been holding back my jokes about Georgia, but I can't stand them. So
I'm twice that way.
Somebody
I went to that Peach Bowl. I go to games to pull against Georgia. I went to the LSU game in 2019. That was awesome.
That game was bad.
That was awesome.
I was at the LSU Georgia game in 2019.
2019 at the SEC championship.
Oh yeah,
I was there too. That was awesome.
I was in that same role.
Nice.
I remember
fellow Georgia hater.
I remember the year everybody thought when Auburn. Everybody thought Auburn was going to win because they had just beat us 2 weeks ago. Everybody was like, 30? "Oh, that was when everybody." I forgot what year that was. Auburn. When the year 17? Auburn had beat Alabama and Georgia that year.
17.
Everybody was
as number 1 back to back.
Yeah. They beat us both at number 1. Everybody was like, "Oh, Auburn's going to come in there and beat Georgia in the SEC championship." And
they beat you by 32 weeks ago. Who would think otherwise?
Hey,
that's the thing. I don't like rematches in college football because a lot of the time, they get fired up for the next game. But in my opinion,
that's the Clemson, and that's the same thing with Clemson and Notre Dame. Yeah. Like that rematch was known when you saw it.
But then you have Ohio State and Wisconsin,
and Iowa and Iowa State and Oklahoma last year.
Yeah, Iowa State.
And then, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you had Ohio State and Wisconsin. Wisconsin beat the heck out of them both times. Yeah. So did Oregon with Utah, I want to say.
it's just hard to beat a really good team twice. So a lot of the times you see the first team lose again, and I'm not a fan of rematches in football. I don't like that.
like the host. I understand. I don't like when Alabama played Georgia that one. I think it was a couple years ago. We played regular season, then we ended up having to play them in the championship game. It was like,
no, that didn't happen.
No. What happened? We played in regular season. Florida didn't win that year. Who won the SEC East that year?
Are you talking about 2015?
No. We played them.
You guys played Bama in 2015. You didn't play them again in the regular season until 2020.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we played them again.
In 2015, Florida won the East.
Oh, yeah, y'all did. That was what year was that? That was just last year.
2015.
No. And then from 20, that's what I'm saying. From 2016, ran the East. Kentucky. There's no team in the East that's going to beat Georgia or Florida. So, okay, I got a question. This is just an all-around college football question. Not Georgia. Texas and Oklahoma are coming to the SEC.
This goes along with my take.
What two teams from the West do you see coming to the East?
Alabama.
I'll start with Blake. Then we'll go K-Stars. Then we'll go C-Dog. Let's go because Blake, we're in the East. So, what two teams would you want to add to competition?
All right, so this is kind of going off the chain of what your question is, but I promise you it aligns. Okay, so in my honest opinion, if Texas and Oklahoma come to the SEC, I think at that point you just got to abolish divisions. And hear me out. Yeah. The 12-team playoff should be coming to the college football landscape within 2 or 3 years. What is that going to do? Get rid of the regular season magic that college football still has. You take away divisions. All of a sudden, you have a Week 10 matchup where a team is 1 game under the second seed to get in the SEC championship. What does that do? That brings back that momentum I can get to the SEC game and I can still get to the playoff. By eliminating divisions with too many teams, that would, eliminate the lopsided West division that we already have. You already add Oklahoma and Texas completely off. Again, that also means that there's still more meaningful games later in the year when you have more teams making the playoffs. And C, you might as well trade Vanderbilt for Clemson at that point.
I don't think the ACC does that. That's my thing about that. So, K-Styles, what do you think?
Man. It don't even matter. To be honest with you. Oklahoma don't do shit in the playoffs, no way. That's not their thing. But going off was up top where he said, I kind of agree. If they do that, you might well just get rid of all the conferences. I mean, just make it regions, okay? Southeast region, okay, you got all these teams right here. North, West, boom, boom. Midwest, because that's crazy, man. And it's all over money. Let's say, what is you doing?
Yeah, the NIL is a big play. That's for sure.
Yeah, the NIL is definitely in play with that.
I'm like,
you get more money in the SEC. Let's be honest. SEC has the most money in most leagues because Alabama and the championships and the schools you have down here bring you a lot of money. Let's be honest. It don't matter what school you really, unless you like Vanderbilt. But sorry about if you're a Vanderbilt fan, but you're not. You're not really welcome to the SEC.
Welcome for Clemson.
Yeah, we can flip you for Clemson. No, you know what's so funny about that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. So we ain't got to deal with their asses no more.
I know that people like to climb on Vanderbilt, but SEC likes them because of baseball. They're like, they're so good at
good baseball. You flip them to the ACC. Clemson suddenly has competition. ACC suddenly doesn't have a one-man conference, and they still get that good baseball competition over in the ACC. I'm all for it. I think both sides.
I don't think we don't. I mean, Vanderbilt has won multiple national championships, and that's what I say. The SEC has won championships in almost everything, because Georgia has won swimming, equestrian, golf. I'm just saying we're bringing in money. If we're gonna bring in money,
basketball, baseball.
We're first up not a basketball school. We're not even gonna talk about basketball. Anthony
Edwards supposed to make you a basketball school?
No, he was not. He came here just to come here. At that point, you're at home. But see, though, we're gonna go ahead and go and talk about what two teams do you feel from the West come to the East?
Alabama and Auburn. It just makes sense because they're right there, right over in
Yeah.
the next state. So it makes sense. And losing Clemson would be detrimental to the ACC. We would fall into irrelevancy. I know we hate playing them every year, but the SEC is the best conference because they play each other and they're all the best teams, and iron sharpens iron. So it sucks to lose, but hey, Tech's going to go through this schedule this year, and whatever happens, we're going to come out a hardened team after going through this gauntlet in 2022. So I'm all for being in the toughest division. You got to have the toughest competition if you want to. But to answer your question, Alabama and Auburn.
Okay. I'm gonna read this real quick, and I want to because he kind of brings mine into. They'll split the teams evenly initially, but they'll probably wait for 4 or 6 teams to basically form a super conference before they abolish the current division. Trust me, it's coming. So, what I think is, like you said, K Styles, why don't you just go? I said, why don't you just go like football, right? Like NFL. Why don't you just go NFL at that point? You have all these. Let's say you go Big 12, you leave the Big 12, leave the leave the SEC, leave all those. You can leave them, but not have the conference. They're all in the same region. So SEC would be, let's say if you choose 4 super teams out of that, it'd be Clemson, Georgia, Florida, maybe Auburn or Alabama.
Oh boy.
And then maybe you can have somebody, you said Midwest, you can have Oklahoma, or like if you want to put it like a super conference, you could do it like that. But what you do in that instance is that you're leaving out like last year, Coastal Carolina almost went undefeated. Cincinnati went almost undefeated. Like all of that stuff, you leave out Georgia Tech sometimes because Georgia Tech's not going to be in that top 4 if you go like that. So I mean, you're running a risk of with bringing in Texas and Oklahoma. You're running the risk of doing like in soccer. I don't know if you remember when they were the Super League. You're basically almost about to turn. You're about to turn the SEC into that, and so you're gonna kill these other ones because let's think about it. Unless Georgia Tech decides they're just gonna come into the SEC, the ACC ain't going. Or if Clemson leaves, the ACC gonna die. There's maybe Miami carry off for a little bit, but if Clemson leaves, the ACC's dead.
Yeah.
So, UCF to get the ACC at that point.
Yeah, unless Georgia Tech just you kind of sort of fall off of a Power 5 conference if you lose Clemson.
Right. Just like the Big 12 is. The Big 12 is about to go away.
Yeah.
They don't have their 2 top money makers and that make them relevant nationally.
Unless North Carolina is at that level by that point, like 3 years down the line, which I don't know if they will be. But
I doubt it.
I say if anybody goes Big 12, if anybody goes Big 10, it had to be like Virginia or Virginia Tech or something. Somebody's already up north. But I don't think Oklahoma, let's be honest, Ohio State, it's going to turn into a Super League sometime. Sometime I see it happening because college football, that whole NIL thing, these players are going to want to play each other that have the most money. Let's be honest. It's going to turn into a money war. And like we were talking about the boosters and all of that, it's going to turn into money after a while. And that's the Super League died real fast. As soon as they announced it died because everybody was like, no, you can't do that. And they were talking about taking restrictions. If the NCAA does anything like that to make these teams leave their conferences, that's when we'll see it stop. That's when we'll see guys actually stay in conference. But at this point, if there's no restrictions and it's only you got to ask your conference, can I leave? And ask some people in your school, can I leave? And then ask the other organization, it's going to be an all-out civil war in a couple of years trying to figure out what team go to where.
Notre Dame's just looking at everybody like it took you guys 60 years to figure this out.
Yeah, basically. Exactly. Notre Dame is Army's a free school now too. So
BYU.
And all these guys that are going independent is really showing you why don't. That's why I feel like the NCAA. If you just get rid of the NCAA, let's just say this disappears, right? We snap a finger, NCAA gone, and you go straight into everybody's independent. That makes college football a lot funner, in my eyes. Because let's think, you got Georgia playing USC and all these. We don't play Ohio State. Imagine if Georgia would have played Justin Fields and he would have had a comeback game here in Athens or something. That would have brought in that brings you that money, all that stuff that comes in. So I don't know if everybody goes independent. I don't know if it happens, but if it does, I wouldn't be surprised. Or something to that extent happens, where the money just goes crazy. Money will go crazy after a while. Tech brings in money, just not football. I mean basketball, yeah.
Basketball, we're pretty good in baseball.
And baseball, yeah. Let me so Blake, I know you got your comparison, but I want to have one thing about Texas. First off, I had to do this. This is first off because you come to the SEC and
we're about to get
you're still going to get it. You're going to get it no matter where you go. You're going to get the horns down. At first, it was going to be a limp horns down.
Well, first you guys got to.
You don't get the full. You get the upside down Spider-Man.
First, you got to.
But first off, you haven't won anything in the Big 12 in a while. If you're Texas, you haven't won a lot in the Big 12, and you decide to come to the hardest conference in college football for money. Now your players are going to come here and just know you're going to turn into a laughing stock, really and truly, if you don't come in and win. You will be a laugh because I can see Oklahoma having a little bit of success. But you being Texas, who hasn't won, they should have went independent. I think Texas should have went independent. If they were going to switch conferences, they should have went independent. Because now you look dumb. You look dumb if you're Texas and you come over here and lose. Because this is literally the hardest conference to play in. And you don't win in your own conference. So why would you come here to play harder opponents? If Oklahoma would have left, I would have been like, oh, thank God, because Texas is gonna win now. Now you in the dirt at this point. You're gonna get buried pretty fast and pretty quick if you don't come in. And Steve Sarkisian, yeah, let's just leave it at that. Let's go ahead. What you got to say, Blake?
All right. So I know we've been talking a lot the last couple of minutes on the University of Texas. And the show, of course, is being centralized on Georgia Tech. Well, let me bring this comparison up to everybody. That when I say it, you're all going to think completely differently about the program at Georgia Tech. And here's why. Georgia Tech in history, 4 national championships. Now you look over at the University of Texas, 4. How long's Texas been rebuilding for? Over a decade. Georgia Tech, 2. They both go about 7-5 every year. They don't beat their rivals in those yearly matchups. But I don't hear anybody else calling Georgia Tech a powerhouse or a blue blood. So the Texas hype up has got to go away. I mean, just based on those 3 points alone, being compared to Georgia Tech. And I just showed you guys pretty much facts that we can all pretty much agree on. Texas is nothing compared to what they're thought of. I mean, soon enough, if this continues for another 5 years, I think we all can agree. They're getting closer to that Notre Dame level of like 25, 30 years ago, we were a powerhouse. And it doesn't help that the Cowboys are 2 hours away. And, those fans are already in that same mindset. So, I mean, the facts are straight. They each got 4 national championships. The rebuild has been going on 5 times longer at Texas. They both have about the same yearly, routine. But I don't see anybody else calling Georgia Tech a powerhouse or a blue blood. All right. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I want to go right after that right there. We already know Texas money is loan money. But there's one comparison that you forgot to make, too.
All right.
Texas is always top 10 in recruiting. Georgia Tech is not.
True.
That's true.
So when you
brand too,
yes,
like a national brand.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have short memories and forget that Tech used to be really, really good.
Yeah, my dad went to Tech, so that's the only reason I know. But
yeah, I mean, we used to be great.
But for the people in the back that don't know, yes, he's right. Texas has not been relevant since Vince Young. They ain't been they have not been relevant since.
In college at that point.
And my next question is, did y'all already ask Missouri about how that experience done went so far?
Exactly.
Did you ask Texas A&M?
Missouri's at least been in the conference.
Texas A&M has improved a lot, actually.
They have improved a lot more, but when they first got in,
Missouri had a lot of goals.
Right.
Missouri, I think, won 3 of the first 5 years in the East. They got clobbered each time. But that's
Missouri's looking pretty good this year, though. Missouri.
Yeah.
I think what hurt them is when Gary Pinkel retired. He was actually a pretty good coach for Missouri standards, and then he carried it over into the SEC. Granted, Florida was really down at the time. Georgia was just getting started with Kirby Smart, so they took advantage on the two teams that are knocking each other up there now. They weren't there at that level yet. So I think Missouri took advantage of that. But yeah, I think that's also a good point. What if they need to ask Missouri and A&M?
That first year, Missouri got to the SEC and made it to the SEC championship.
I think it was year 2.
It was 1 year. I know it was. I think it was 1 or 2.
Yeah, they won.
They had Michael Sam, who might have been one of the most dominant D tackles in college football. I mean, their team was built to win. We just didn't think they were going to win the SEC. But you take a year off. You take a year off when Kirby just gets there. You beat us. You beat Florida, which was the most surprising thing. I think everybody was like, "Whoa, what?" And so then you get to the SEC championship. Who they play? Auburn and got blown out. Was it something? I forgot. Was it Auburn or something?
That was the year that Auburn played Florida State in the last BCS, though.
Yeah, it was.
Auburn's team was pretty good.
Yeah, right. So it was really, it was cool to it was cool to see. Actually, I got a 5th quarter Georgia Tech. It's a Georgia Tech. They're watching the show actually. Oh. They said that he thinks it's gonna be 6-6. That's what he said his record was. Thinks it's gonna be.
I'll be happy with that.
I think you guys gonna
beat Georgia Tech week 2. What the state will be like whole next week.
Right. If you guys beat, let's just be honest. If you guys beat, and this is wild. If y'all lose to Kennesaw State, I might laugh. I might.
Like they didn't beat Georgia State, but then 2 years later they beat Tech. Like, whoa.
Yeah, I might bust the spleen open if you guys lose to Georgia. If you guys lose to Kennesaw State, but. If you guys come out, let's say you guys go 4-0, that means you beat Clemson and UNC. You guys are ranked automatically.
Yeah, anybody would be ranked.
Might be number 1.
You might be top.
Might be number 1 if we beat.
If they lose the first 2 games and then beat Clemson and North Carolina, they're going to be ranked.
I think fantasy land here, though.
Yeah, that's the only thing. UNC schedule is weird because they really have. I mean, they play Virginia Tech, then they play Georgia State, which they should be 2-0, and they play Virginia, which we don't know what Virginia will be this year. Yeah. And then you go into who else? Then they play you guys. So
UNC?
Yeah, UNC.
You know what's funny is they play Georgia State this year too.
That's what I'm saying. They play Georgia State, so that's why I said they go 2-0. But that Virginia game. You don't know how they play, and then that Georgia Tech game is the September. I hope it's a night game. I hope you guys get the.
It's at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah. I might have to go. I might have to go. That's going to be nice.
The Georgia Tech North Carolina games in the Benz.
Yep.
Why?
Oh yeah, it is.
Why is a good question, but
I think that's like the ACC. It's like an ACC special game or something. I don't know if it's like an
ACC. It's just to get people excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will not be something they did that every year.
You know, that might be a soda. That's going to get Georgia Tech really a lot of. If you guys win that game, that's going to be a lot of people.
That would be great for the city, for the program, for everything. Yeah, it would be great.
Anything now for y'all helps, really and truly.
And it would be because North Carolina, I don't think it's impossible. They're a really good team when they play their best, but last year they were really inconsistent. Remember, they lost at Florida State, who was awful. We beat Florida State. So and then they followed it up with a loss to Virginia. So it's possible that they drop a random game this season. It could be us.
I feel like Matt Brown's trying to clean that up, though.
Yeah. If they play their best, our defense won't be able to keep up. They'll put a bunch of numbers on us. And we can score too. Maybe best we could hope for is a shootout. But
I think all audiences would love that.
If they're sloppy, then I could see that.
I think, like I said, y'all upset game is Notre Dame. But November 27th, 2021, in Atlanta, in the flats, we have the heavyweight battle of Georgia, the Governor's Cup, whatever you want to call it.
Do we even need to talk about this?
Plain old-fashioned hate.
Old-fashioned hate.
How many Tech lose by this year?
How are we feeling?
I'm tired of getting blown out. Hopefully we can. I mean,
can never beat Georgia at home.
Listen, when I'm playing, when we're playing Clemson or Notre Dame or whoever these teams are, I don't want to see another game like that lost to Clemson last year. That was awful. If we can keep it in between a touchdown or two with some of these like playoff caliber teams, I think that would be. I don't think that would be too much to ask this year. Two touchdowns would be. I mean, obviously I want to beat them, but two touchdowns wouldn't be too bad.
I was the closest that Georgia has, or the closest that Tech has been to beating UGA at home since the 90s was that 2013 game when Tech was it was the Vad Lee senior year, and they were up, I want to say 20-0 right before halftime. Things were rolling. Georgia was 7-4. Tech had won 3 in a row. They were 7-4. I was at that game. It was the only one of the 2 Tech games I've been to at Bobby Dodd, and that place was rocking. But I mean, just like history itself, Todd Gurley got himself going back when he had knees, and Georgia came back to win in double overtime, 41-34. And I'll tell you that day, because it was weird going into the stadium, all the Tech fans saying "to hell with Georgia," and the one saying back, "We haven't lost yet." So
yeah, for like we usually beat y'all at home, which is kind of
I feel like a lot of that has to do with scheduling, just like how Auburn every other year is mediocre because the last 7 years they had to end at Bama and at Georgia the last week. I'm looking at the schedule now, T. Every year that they play you guys at home, they have to go at Miami. They have to go at Clemson. This year's at Notre Dame. The years that they play UGA in Bobby Dodd, they have 3 blue blood games on the road.
Yeah, that's so going into UGA's schedule, of course, going into Georgia's schedule, of course, we play Clemson. Everybody knows that game is the prime time. The game I'm streaming.
I might be there, honestly.
Yeah, that's one I think you said you were gonna go to. What's up? Prove it. How you doing tonight? Hey, leave Gurley alone. I love Gurley. I think people. I don't know. People don't. I don't know. It's weird because people don't like Gurley. And I'm just like,
that reminds me. I need to take down my Devontae Freeman poster.
Oh yeah, you need to.
The Seminole one now is saying, that ain't gonna fly.
Oh,
I'm gonna do that right
now. Georgia's last. Well, I guess I'll go last 4 games going into Georgia Tech. We play Florida. It's not even away. It's in Jacksonville. We play Missouri at home. We go to Tennessee. Then we have homecoming versus Charleston Southern. And then we play Georgia Tech. So really and truly, we get an easier. I'll put it like that. We get an easier schedule coming into, because we know Florida's going to be the hardest because we play everybody hard in the beginning. And really, our schedule isn't that hard because we play UAB, then we play South Carolina at home again. I mean, that's going to be then we play Vanderbilt away, which I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if you saw it. Georgia takes Vanderbilt Stadium every time we play them.
Yeah.
No way. It literally turns into a sea of red, which is so disrespectful.
Well, I think every team does that, too.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about Vanderbilt.
Bro, Vanderbilt was so bad last year, they had Sarah Fuller as a kicker just to make the news.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Let's really be honest. They ducked Georgia 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
They literally, because we were supposed to play Vanderbilt the last week of the season. So it goes week 1, Vanderbilt. I mean, I was like I forgot what week it was. Vanderbilt canceled because of COVID. The next week, Vanderbilt canceled because of COVID. Then the Louisiana, okay, we'll schedule for the last week of the season. Hopefully there's no COVID cases. Then they were like, yeah, we're not going to play them anyway. And it just was like, yeah, we're just not going to play the game. We're just forfeited. I was like, bro, what? Like, it was so crazy. I was like, that's wild.
See, Florida's downfall was actually playing their 10 games.
Y'all played 10, didn't y'all? We didn't play 10.
Yeah, we played all of our 10. We had to reschedule LSU for the end of the year, and you know how that went.
That's y'all. Yeah, that was hilarious. That was actually funny.
I actually know Marco Wilson, so I can't really.
That was hilarious. That the fact he threw that shoe and then like was really like serious about throwing the shoe. I was like, bro, okay, see, like that was
funny.
Multiple times. So, I mean, I can't.
So we play Auburn, Kentucky, and Florida back to back. Well, actually, let's go Arkansas because Arkansas might be good. We don't know. Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky, Florida back to back. That's in a 4-week span. Oh no, we always get I think we get the week off. I think y'all do too, Blake. We get the week off.
We always do.
Yeah, we always get the week off. Just do it live. Might as well. Might as well.
I've had it 4 years.
We always had the bye week. I don't know. Do you guys have I don't know what your guys' bye week is this year, but I know we have
before the Virginia game.
I was before the Virginia. They should have gave it to you before Clemson. That was a horrible. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we beat Clemson even with a bye week. So
exactly.
Virginia is honestly one of those swing games that could go either way. Plus, it's on the road, so it actually does kind of come at a good time. I think the Virginia game could be important for us to get into bowl eligibility.
Yeah, that's what you. I think that's really what you want to focus on. But yeah, I think the hardest game on our schedule will be either, well, of course, Clemson. We all know the Clemson game. But SEC wise, I would say it would be Auburn and Florida. I think Florida carries more weight. I'll put it like that. Florida carries, like you say, the Virginia game. Florida carries more weight into that East because there's not other teams in the East that's really the game of this. Unless Kentucky decides they want to be good.
I think Missouri has an outside or kind of a dark horse. I don't think
they're
they do
a dark horse. Is Kelly Bryant still there? Did he leave?
I don't
think he graduated.
Did he?
I think so. He was already a sophomore at Clemson. Then he transferred for his junior year, which was 2019. So yeah, that was.
I mean, he gets 5 years. You know, you get 5 years. So I don't know. He might. Let me see.
Maybe. I doubt it though.
Yeah, I doubt he stayed. But no, he plays in Canada. He plays for Toronto.
Yeah, he didn't even get drafted.
Yeah, you leave Clemson.
That's the reason Brock Purdy stayed, because he knows they're not going to be an okay team, but that QB, the QB.
I mean, Justin Fields because he couldn't be Jake Fromm in practice, but we ain't gonna talk about that. You know, the guy that's supposed to be should have took Matt Ryan's spot, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But you know, he couldn't beat Jake Fromm in practice. I just want to keep reiterating that to Falcons fans. He couldn't beat a bench warmer in practice. But yeah, going into it, I think to end the show off, like we all did our expectations. Do you think it's gonna be close? Because most of y'all are saying y'all gonna lose. But do you think the Georgia game is going to be close?
No.
Hey, no. Well, yeah, it's easy to say no, but I mean, hey, our staff is like I said earlier, Jeff Collins brought in a lot of tech guys. So you know that they already can't stand Georgia. And I'm hoping that even if we do remain the little brother program, we can get something going like Gus Malzahn had it with Alabama. Because even though Alabama was the best team like every year, Auburn still managed to beat them like every 2 or 3 years. So
yeah,
hopefully we can get that going because, you know, it always seemed like Gus Malzahn saved something for that game. So, hey, maybe we do too, but I don't know. It comes right after, like I said, through a gauntlet. Miami, Boston College, Notre Dame, and then Georgia. So,
yeah, I mean, that's that gauntlet is going to be hard.
Hopefully we can just keep it close.
I think so. So, K-Styles, You think it'll be a closer game? What are your expectations versus the big brother?
I think Tech beat him by 3.
Hell yeah.
That'll
Hey,
be,
we
that'll
got a
be
kicker now.
surprising.
We got a kicker now from Tennessee.
We got a
Well,
kicker now.
Harrison Bucket.
Yeah.
But
Tech beat him by
I
3.
forgot the last time we played y'all. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Put
Yeah.
your gun in their
We
hands.
got Samaglia from Tennessee now. He's hit a couple 50-yarders, so
Hopefully,
That's a shame. We happy for kickers. That's a shame. But like I said, I feel like Tech will beat Georgia by 3.
I want to see.
I love that.
I like it. I want to see. It's gonna be I'm gonna stream the game, so of course everybody's welcome to come on and we watch it together. But man, I think that's gonna be the game because we didn't get it last year. Let's be honest.
Right.
Last year,
Right.
not getting Georgia, Butker got who headed to.
Oh yeah, for the first time in history, overtime at Sanford Stadium.
Yeah. I know my Twitter. I know my Twitter gonna be blowing up with you smoking that good stuff. Saying that.
I want some of that though.
No, it's called a reality check, son. It's like I said, they're gonna beat them by 3.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I think.
I love it.
So for me as a Georgia fan, I think we didn't get the good old fashioned hate game last year, and that hurt. It was boring. I promise you, because I think I was down there that week we were supposed to play you guys. I was downtown. I was like, man, Georgia's supposed to be playing in Georgia right here. I drove by the stadium. I was like, Georgia's supposed to be playing there right now. Like it was the same week and everything. I was like, man, it's like it just didn't feel right.
Most Tech fans could care less.
Yeah. It just didn't feel. It doesn't feel good not playing y'all. Even if
we Georgia fans that say they don't even look at Tech as a rival anyway. So I mean,
we see. Auburn and Florida have been our rivals more than Georgia Tech, but we still love the little. We still, and even I forgot what somebody had. Oh, man, Mike said Stockade style.
Hey, hold on. I want to tell Mike. I want to tell Mike this. We're gonna beat y'all by 3, and we're gonna get the game-winning touchdown.
Nice.
To push it up by 3.
Hell yeah.
He's gonna hit me up talking trash. So hey, I'm ready for it, Mike.
Love it.
Hey, I think
Mike doesn't have to be ready. He already knows.
Well, like I said, I'm live streaming that game, man. I want everybody here to come on. And C-Dog, you said you're gonna be live streaming yourself, so we'll definitely have a have a good time talking about it afterwards. So just some announcements real quick for just the show. First off, Art Gilbert. Hopefully you come back. Hopefully you feeling well. Don't know what's going on with you. We love you. We care about you. Hopefully you'll be back by the season start. We don't know. Second off, rivalry week is coming. I don't know if you guys know, like rivalry week is coming. I think if you watch FILA, you know rivalry week is our college show. We will be going through a whole schedule. I don't have the whole schedule on me right now. But we have a whole schedule.
I can help run that show if you need me to.
It's gonna be me and Dawn. That's gonna be me and Dawn.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, this gonna be the guy. We got Southern, so everything rivalry week, you guys will be Georgia, Southern, State, or Georgia Tech. So that will be the schedule. Hopefully, C-Dog or K Styles, you guys want to come in, or Blake, if you guys want to come in and talk that week about Georgia Tech, whoever we put as their rivalry in that rivalry week, you guys are welcome.
What about the Kennesaw State
Those will be Thursday
game?
nights. I think that is going to be the one we're going to cover. I think that's going to be I don't know if it's really a rivalry, but in state. I think State plays Southern that week though. It just depends on how it stacks up. But then Saturday night, this is going to be the show Saturday night. If you're new to the channel and you don't know what Call on Tyrone is, this is going to be the show Saturday night. I'm going to have people on. So the first week, I'm going to have somebody on Clemson on. And I'm just gonna cover the other scores. Basically, I'm gonna talk about the teams in the state. But that'll be Saturday nights. Hopefully it turns into a calling show. I'm gonna let you guys just call on Tyrone. So hopefully I can make it into a calling show, or I'll use maybe Discord or something to have you guys come and talk. But yeah, definitely get you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. C Dog, you want to promote yourself real quick?
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on, man. If anybody likes to, I make Georgia Tech and college football content in general, with a focus kind of on the ACC. And I'll be live streaming every Tech game and every Georgia game to pull against them. And so it's just right there, C Dog in the YouTube search bar. If you want to check that out, I appreciate it.
Yeah, if you guys watch, I caught one of his shows. I forgot you had one of your guys on with you, and I watched that part of that show. He really gives you a good in-depth breakdown of Georgia Tech. My guy K Styles, AFN. First off, if you in here, you know K Styles. You gotta know K Styles. You gotta know K Styles.
They some of them do know me, some of them don't. I know after that Georgia Tech comment, I'm finna get a lot of hate mail, so that's what I do best. But like I said, Tyrone, you did it wrong, man. Remember when you came on the show last time? Remember, you guys said you can call on Tyrone.
Yes.
You gotta do it like that. That's how you need to do it. But like I said, you just follow me at Just K Styles. Also, make sure y'all check out Atlanta Falcon Nation if y'all haven't. I got the Georgia Tech content coming up here pretty soon when the season starts as well. Hey, like I said, appreciate Tyrone letting me on. C-Dog, Atlanta Kid, appreciate talking football with y'all, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
that's all I got to say.
Of course, y'all know Blake, but I'm gonna let Blake promote himself like he's not on the channel. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Well, actually, I do have one thing that I'm actually going to be starting up real soon on my own channel. So you guys know me from FILA itself. I run the Get to Know Some Baseball Braves show. I got to get more consistent with the episodes with the season, especially winding down. But all I know is next year the show is going to take it all to a whole new level. C-Dog, it was great meeting you tonight. And K-Styles, as I said, I've watched you and Mad Mike for quite a while. I don't catch a lot of your guys' shows live. That's probably why you don't know my name via the comments. But it's been great finally being able to talk to y'all. But yeah, for those of you that know me, last quarantine, during the months of summer, I played MLB The Show, and I played all 162 games of my Braves franchise and streamed my playoffs live on YouTube. Well, I've done the same thing with the Hawks. I've played all 82 games, took 3 months, and for those of you guys wondering, I will be streaming my hope to get the Atlanta Hawks, the 2021 rosters, playoff championship here within the next couple days before the next game comes out. So.
Hey, for me.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, like I said, for me, Saturday nights, man. The college football show on this is I'm finna be on. I mean, every Saturday from September 4th to November, I will be on talk. And if you're a fan of any other team besides a state in Georgia, please come on the show. Especially if you're that Sunday night game. Because I want to hear y'all talk. I just want to hear y'all talk smack. Because usually that ABC night game is the game that everybody's watching on TV. So if you a fan of those teams and you want to come on and you want to talk smack, I got you. But that's it. But like I said, so call on Tyrone. The Clemson game will be 2 streams, just so you guys know. I will do a live stream and then I will do going to an actual reaction. Got my Georgia guys. We are Dog Nation. I want to shout him out. If you don't follow him on Twitter, he has everything dogs. The dog posts, all of those guys, Dog Nation itself, all of those guys. Follow them if you're dog fans because they have mostly all the good content. I use them as my sources. But the dog post itself is definitely the one I use the most. But man, I just want to say, like I said before, Art Gilbert, please be okay. We need.
He's already watched 2 programs, man.
Yes, I know. We need you. I don't know if he's left. We don't know what it was supposedly. Kirby says Kirby loves you. We all love you. The fan base is in love with you. If there's anything you need help. You have the whole fan base to come to. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Peace.